Managers at the Grand Lucayan property will soon benefit from voluntary separation packages. Repairs ongoing at the Garnet-Laverty Justice Center in Freeport. And the residents of Bimini distraught over the murder of a well-loved businessman in that community.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, an agreement reached between the government and the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association that represents managers at the Grand Lucayan Hotel property, ending months of protracted negotiations over what the managers should actually be paid in voluntary separation packages. Tonight, the union representing the managers say the VSAP packages will be finalized on Sunday. Grand Lucayan workers can finally breathe a sigh of relief as president of the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association, Obi Ferguson, has confirmed that the union and the government have reached a settlement of $4.4 million.
Well, the package includes basically the notice pay, we negotiated additional funds for each member of the bargaining unit. The annuity formed a major part of the package. Those who were covered by the family guardian, and we negotiated an amount to deal with those persons who were not covered by the family guardian. So overall, the amount is about with the annuities about $4.4 million or thereabouts.
He says a similar arrangement will be made for workers who will remain at the hotel. He's also pleased with this arrangement after rejecting a $2.7 million offer back in October that was presented to the union, he says, with a take it or leave it attitude. But he is grateful to the Minister of Tourism for stepping in.
I must give the Prime Minister and indeed the Minister of Tourism credit for intervention, and consequently things became more more regularized, and the consequence of which we were able to reach the agreement. I'm meeting with the Minister on Sunday morning at 9:30, at which time everything will be documented and put in writing, and we will sign off on it. So there'll be no further controversy or misinterpretation as to what occurred. But I can assure you that the Minister and I, with Craig Russell, who's my man in Grand Bahama, it was a little rough at the beginning, but with the intervention of the Minister, things became normal.
He says the workers are also pleased with the settlement.
Really and truly, they should be commended for the patience, because you're going back from, say, October of last year to the 31st of March. It's a very long time, and it creates all sorts of opportunities for people to misinterpret, to misapply, to give false information, that type of thing. And when money is involved, there's a high motivation to either listen sometimes to things that don't really make sense. But I give the people in Grand Bahama, and certainly the workers at that hotel, high marks for the confidence they reposed in Craig Russell.
Ferguson notes that the union members will be paid shortly after he meets with the minister on Sunday. We have a progress report tonight on repairs underway at the Garnet-Laverty Justice Center. The courthouse was in desperate need of renovations, and a contract was issued late last year. Tonight, local officials are giving their views on the extent of repairs to date. Italia Hall reports.
A $2 million contract was signed between the government and NOLA Investment in November for the refurbishment of the Garnet Lavardi Justice Center. During the tour, the Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, and a local delegation were able to view the repairs. He says he's pleased with the progress made so far. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Aaron Lewis, taking note of the roof that is now fully repaired, which was the biggest challenge for the building.
They've now started on the interior of the court. We're very pleased to see that one of the courts, the Supreme Courts, are just about completed. There's going to be a new floor, new fixtures. They are really doing an excellent job. I think at the end of the day, you're going to have almost a brand new courthouse. We've also seen the replacing of the air ducts, which again was very important because there was mold problems that the staff was facing, and so this is going to eliminate that. So you now have those brand new ducts, and you also have brand new air conditioning system.
We have fresh air, we have clean air, we have a much more safe environment. The interior work that is being carried out right now is done at a high standard, and we will continue to monitor.
But Minister Thompson says there is one challenge.
Court has to continue, and so they are limited in terms of the amount of time that they're able to devote to the project. So we see that they have to do it early in the morning, they have to do it during lunchtime, and then they have to do it once the court is finished.
Contractor Max Kwan says he's currently waiting for supplies to arrive, including carpet, tiles, and casing for the columns around the courthouse.
So waiting the arrival of the windows. All of the windows in this building would be changed to hurricane impact windows, and hopefully they should be on site within another 3 to 4 weeks.
Now, while work has started inside the Supreme Court, no work has been done in the Magistrate Court as yet, and Quant explains why.
We are still waiting on the Assistant Registrar to give us permission to go ahead because there are trials going on as we speak, and sometimes we have a delay, but we're working a lot at night from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till about 12 at night, so we could kind of expedite what we need to do.
Now the project is expected to be completed before the end of the year. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
By-election set for the island of Abaco next month after 2 vacancies in the local government system on that northern island. The town areas affected include Hopetown, Green Turtle Key, and Marsh Harbor, Spring City, and Cherokee Sound. Nomination papers can be obtained at the administrator's office in Abaco. Administrator for Central Abaco, Maxine Duncombe, says that nomination day is set for May 7th.
Now, we've already gotten the writ of the election, and we received that on the 24th of April, 2019, and the notice of the election has already been posted in the various districts. And what we're saying to all of the all intended candidates, they must be registered voters in the polling divisions where they are offering as candidates, and they must be a resident in the particular polling division. And then they must present a nomination paper signed by at least 5 persons registered in the polling division, and then present a signed and notified declaration of qualification and pay a fee of $50 to the returning officer at the time of nomination.
In the event that more than the required number of persons are nominated for the existing vacancies, elections will be held on May 23rd between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
I would love to see persons offering themselves who are committed and who has a passion for serving in their community. And then persons who have no axe to grind, but are there for the sole purpose of serving their community. It isn't about self. It's about community, the island of Abaco, and by the extension, the country. So I believe once you get that, that ingredient or that qualification, and, some business-minded persons who would want to serve, I think we will do well.
Now to the island of Bimini, where residents there are baffled by the shooting death of the businessman and the owner of Big John's Restaurant and Resort. Perez was shot and killed at his home on Sunday morning. Italia Hall tells us that residents of Bimini say Perez was a great friend and an asset to the Bimini community.
47-year-old American Alain Perez was shot and killed in his villa early Sunday morning. Unconfirmed reports say he opened his door after hearing a knock, and he was shot multiple times in the upper body by an unknown assailant. Once police officers arrived on the scene, Perez was taken to the Bimini clinic, where he later succumbed to his injuries. The incident sent shockwaves through the island of Bimini. Our ZNS News team spoke with some residents who shared how they felt when they first heard the news.
Really shocked. Really shocked to hear something like that happening, especially in a small island like this. Wow. Such a good guy to happen to.
Yeah, it was very shocking because things like that don't happen in Bimini.
Very much surprised about hearing something like that happen in Bimini, you know. And he was a nice guy, all around nice guy, you know.
Well, it was very disturbing, you know. Bimini, normally being a quiet community, you know, to hear something of that magnitude is very disturbing. You know, you start to consider safety issues and so on for something like that to happen.
Filmmaker George Nickel from California says he just met with Perez a few days ago and was scheduled to film a video of the Big John's Restaurant and Hotel.
I wanted to do just a short scene in here, very short. And he said, yeah, come down Monday at noon. So here I am, but so I have to change my plans, I guess. Oh, that's a shame. That's horrible.
Bimini resident Aaron Smith says he is saddened by the news because Perez came to Bimini and made a difference in the community.
Anytime you can come to Bimini and you hire people, he's had maybe 9 to 10 people employed. That's not 9 or 10, that's maybe 20-something because they put bread on other people's tables, and it's a sad day in Bimini because he meant well. Now, whatever went down, now I don't know about that, but I know personally he has done well in Bimini because one of the only guys every time school opened on September, he's one of the only guys would have books for the kids and school bags and stuff like that.
Businessman Barry Dame says Perez was a friend to many Biminites.
For Bimini, he was a good man. We had a big loss. That was a big loss because there wasn't much people doing for the kids like him. You know, it was sad. It was a sad day.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.